Hello, welcome back to Adobe Live today, and we're live from pretty much everywhere in Europe, it feels. I'm joined by Sophia, Camilo, with a really strong Finnish representation. We have Camilo, who's based in Helsinki, and I made it to Lapland. Look at it. It's real. It's real. I've had questions. It's a real background. We're in the north of Finland here because it's Festive Adobe Live. We made it to the last month of the year, and what a year it's been. How are you guys, Sophia, Camilo?
Yeah, it's been crazy how fast this time went by. It all of a sudden was December already.
That's it. And honestly, I'm a bit disappointed on the Christmas jumper front. I don't know if anyone watching is actually wearing that Christmas jumper, but
I tried to explain that this is green and red, but nobody believes me. So.
Oh, okay. Let us know at home if you're into this or not, and if you're wearing yours. I really want to know. Sophia's going to be on the chat today, and Camilo's our guest, who's actually demoing, and you guys at home might know him. He was here a few weeks back. Camilo, how are you doing?
Yeah, thank you for having me again, and
returning.
Yeah, thank you guys, and yeah, from Finland as well, like you are, and different time zones with Sophia.
Yeah,
1 hour, guys. It's 1 hour.
We just talked about this before the stream. We were like, there's a huge jet lag every time you go from Berlin to Helsinki. Traumatizing.
Yeah. And yeah, so here we are, and thank you guys for having me again. And yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, and also a big thank you to everyone at home. I don't know, Sophia, who's on the chat already. If it's just the usual here for December 1st, we forgot to say happy December 1st. But who's watching? Who's tuning in?
There's like Tim obviously is there, Linda is there, Sean is there, Andreas, Sandrine, Angus. We have a lot of people watching today, but as Tim said, there's no one from the UK in our stream today, even though we're the UK stream.
So we've gone into like the English-speaking world.
Yes, exactly.
Wherever you are, whoever you are, we're speaking English across Europe, and that's pretty cool. And it's allowed us to, talk to a lot of creatives this year as well. I think we're all getting a bit emotional. Tim's preparing some great stuff for this month. Just looking back on 2020 and what a year it's been, right? What's been your highlight, Sophia and Camilo? Let's talk about positive things. Highlights.
Highlights of the stream.
In any aspect of your life, I will take. Ooh, the puppy, Shirley.
I mean, yeah, the puppy itself and the puppy on the stream was also a highlight.
The new mascot. Any highlights, Camilo? I think the darkness in Finland might be a bit of a struggle, but we'll be talking about this today.
Yeah, it's gonna get dark during this hour, I'm sure. The highlight, I think is this last part of the year has been really nice, and talking with you guys, talking with Sophia in the last stream and this stream, it's been a really nice thing to do, and yeah, a really nice way to also just finish the year somehow. So yeah.
Definitely. And let us know at home what you're looking forward to for next year as well. We're going to have a fresh start for Adobe Live as well. We'll still be here, of course. But yeah, plenty more to come. And so we should probably talk about what's so special about today, because I'm not usually on here, and I'm making a comeback and joining Sophia, who could, do this alone without me. But I just thought I'd say hi because I miss everyone. But yeah, we're talking a bit about, a festive challenge that's happening. I heard. Sophia, Camilo, who wants to talk a bit about it?
Well, it's a challenge that is inspired by something Camilo is doing at the moment, because we wanted to give everyone the opportunity to show their work and show positivity and have a good outlook for next year. So Camilo has a really exciting project that he's doing at the moment, and I think he will explain a little bit about that. And we want you to create something inspired by what he's doing, and it's going to be a challenge for everyone, for all the artists. And yeah, I think Camilo can pick up from there and tell a little bit about the project itself, and then we'll tell you more about the challenge and how you can participate and what you can win, because there's also something to win, like exciting prizes. And so Camilo.
Yeah, I can. Just a couple of weeks ago, actually, I just, well, first, it's really dark in Finland during this time of the year. Maybe Emma knows a bit more because she's in the northern part of Finland.
So right now we're about 4 hours of light a day, and it's only reducing. So you pretty feel like, you just feel like sleeping most of the time. It's hibernation season coming upon us. Yeah,
it's November, December are quite dark months here in Finland, and you don't get that much light, to be honest. It's really cloudy. So a couple of weeks ago, I was thinking like, instead of just complaining or getting so annoyed because of the weather and everything, like I should do something about it. And actually a bit of inspiration came from Sophia, because she was doing this challenge herself of taking a picture every day for 30 days. So I kind of took that and I just wanted to just kind of... So
Sophia, firstly, tell us how that's going.
I mean, it's over now because it was for the first month. So I did it all of November. So yesterday was the last photo. And I did it because I thought, naive how I was, the lockdown would take a month. So I thought I would take one photo for every day of lockdown. Now I realize this might extend a little longer, but I did 30 days just as a personal challenge, kind of, because I felt like usually, or like I knew from the first experience from the beginning of the year that it's really hard to do stuff. Like I was really not motivated. I was really not inspired. And I felt like I needed something to just push myself. And it was harder than I thought, but it was fun. I encourage everyone just to like sometimes push yourself a little bit, even if it doesn't go exactly as planned. But for me, it felt really good to complete it and to do it and to actually see that some cool things came from it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure Camilo, you'll talk a bit about that as well. I've seen a lot of creatives who have been taking on new challenges for the end of the year, and we're all kind of at home, maybe looking for some last minute inspiration to stretch the year. But Camilo, how's it been for you setting that challenge?
Well, I'm halfway. Yeah, I've been doing it a couple of weeks already, and I mean, it's like Sophia just said. Like sometimes it's a challenge, like not every day it's easy to come up with something. And I mean, I don't spend a lot of time doing these designs, because that's the point for me, to try to do it in a short time. So it's a real challenge for me. But yeah, so far it's doing well, I guess. And I think I like it. I don't know, because it's challenging me to do something that I didn't do that much before, which is this kind of illustrations, quick illustrations and stuff like that. And I guess, I still have 2 weeks to go, so maybe I knock on wood, because you never know. But let's see.
You'll make it. Come on, let's be positive. I'm sure it's going to work out. And how difficult do you find it every day to kind of come up with something new? Because you just said that it has to be quick, and that's something that you might not always have time. The same kind of challenge when you have maybe 2 weeks to figure something out in a design. Do you kind of lower your expectations, where you're like, this will do?
Oh yeah, well, the challenge, I mean, what I had in mind at the beginning was just to draw, to illustrate or do some design that has the sun in some way there. It could be just a yellow circle, or it could be just some kind of shadows, whatever. I don't know. But the longer I'm doing it, I think I'm trying to find ideas from different places, not just drawing a sun or illustrating a sun. It could be music, it can be books, it can be movies or whatever. Like sometimes I try to find these kind of ideas, reach for ideas in different places. And I think that's a good thing that I'm doing right now. And that helps a bit to create something different. That is, sometimes it can be I think it can be a bit repetitive, but try to reach for different ideas and try to keep it different. So yeah. I can show some of the designs I've done so far.
That would be awesome. And everyone watching, please follow Sophia and Camilo on Instagram or Twitter and any other channel, because you might get some inspiration for your next couple of weeks as well and create something new. Because we're talking about illustration today, but the challenge is open to photography and videography as well. And inspired by you, Camilo, we decided to call it On the Light Side. So we'll talk a bit more about how you can participate. But yeah, this is a good place to start.
Yeah. And I also just wanted to add, when you do these kinds of challenges, and it's also what Camilo said, you start with one idea and you keep doing it for some time and it changes. Like for me, it was, I wanted to do something about gratitude in the beginning. And then towards the end, I was like, I just want to experiment more, try out new things. And I think the same thing applies for Camilo too, because in the beginning he told me, how hard can it be? It's just a yellow circle. And now his idea has turned into like so much more than just a yellow circle. And I think that's a great thing about like challenges that go over a longer period of time. It develops, you learn something about yourself, you get out of your comfort zone. And I think your illustrations show that really well too.
Yeah, thank you.
And these are in order, right? I think you did start with that one on the left.
Yeah, this is in the order that I've been doing them. Like this is just the three first ones that I did. Like as you can see, you can see a circle, which is the sun, and but that was the beginning, and then but let's see at the end I kind of changing the same here. I try to take inspiration from, or not inspiration, like ideas from almost everything. Like the last one here is the diagram of the solar eclipse, I think it is, which is a bit weird to do, but the sun is there. And that's the
Little Miss Sunshine reference. I really love that.
Yeah.
I love that. The movie.
My heart is
so cute.
Love that.
Yeah, like I thought, like it's movies or whatever. Sometimes it's just whatever comes to mind. It can be useful. Swimming pool, summer. I don't think a lot of people is gonna be in was in swimming pools the last summer, but nice memories.
I just love when it comes up on my Instagram and my feed, and I think this is why this is such a nice positive movement as well, because it just really encourages people to find light, but also share that in a visual way, right? So it comes up on your social, and you're like, oh, that was nice. It was a pretty dark day with my 2 hours of sunlight, and but I get to see a pool and something positive, and know that there's a new year ahead, and Sophia's already pissing herself.
Like it's starting from 4 hours of sunlight. It's 2 hours of sunlight at some point.
Preparation.
Yeah.
At some point, it's just dark. It is.
Yeah, that's why we need these things. We need some light through art, if there's none in the world.
Yeah. So dark in Finland. I'm sorry, but it's just so dark sometimes.
Actually, this stream is just becoming a rant. Forget it. We're just all going to complain.
No, it's positive. We're positive.
Hopefully the chat is loving it, because actually the work is beautiful, and this is why it also caught our attention, right? Because Camilo, you created some amazing stuff, and you'll show us how you created this as well, and how kind of your process goes. But I love these, and let us know at home which one's your favorite as well. You'll find them on Camilo's Instagram.
Yeah. So this is the last three that I've done so far. As you can see, they have changed a tiny bit, and they are not showing the sun, like a literal sun there, and I try to base them in different ideas. It can be an artist that I like, it can be music that I like, it can be just an image that I have in my head about like summer kind of weather and stuff like that. And and also the illustration kind of style that I'm using is changing a bit. At the beginning it was a bit more flat illustration, and now at the end I'm trying to use a bit more organic shapes and lines and these kind of things. And I think I like the way things are going so far.
Yeah, I really like the different styles. Yeah.
And so now we can go to Illustrator, and I can share a bit with you guys this illustration that I create for this challenge, for the Adobe challenge of the creating the sunlight. And so I'm gonna show you a tiny bit of the process that I did for this illustration in particular. This is just like a simple line illustration of sunrise. and I try to keep it simple and to just keep it like as less colors as possible, because I kind of like that way too. And this is a bit more advanced, like not advanced, but like a different kind of stages of the sunrise with the same illustration. So I'm gonna explain a bit my process to create this, which is a bit nerdish kind of process, but kind of gives me more. The process is better for me that way. So I have this kind of grid here that I created, and the different colors represent different kind of thickness of the lines. And so we have the dark gray, the light gray, and the blue one. The blue one is going to represent the water, and the gray ones are the sky and the sun. So what I did is just to create these lines of 10 pixels each one. And the separation between them is also 10 pixels. And at the same time, I created these light gray lines in the middle of them. And I'm gonna show you later why. And so yeah, once I have this kind of grid set up and everything is kind of, the distance are perfect, like pixel perfect and everything, I kind of just wanted to move on to the creating the sun. And in this case, it's an actual circle. And yeah, I try to keep the shapes and the measurements in the grid per se. Like I don't have a grid right now here, like a perfect grid, but I have this grid. So the size of this sun or this circle is right in the middle between these two lines here, and which is 5 pixels, and the same down here. That way I guarantee that everything is set up in the right position. So what I do next, I want to create these kind of lines between the sun that represent the clouds. Sometimes in the sunrise, when you see the sun in the horizon, it has this kind of blurry lines in it, like reflections on the sea, of the water. So I wanted to represent that as well. And that's why I created these light gray lines here, because with that I can get those lines there for the illustration. So for the next step, what I do is select the lines that are touching with the sun. I select the sun as well. I go to the Pathfinder tool, and I go to divide. And what happened now is like all the overlays between the lines and the sun, they get into different shapes. So now I can basically come into this shape and erase the negative spaces that I want to erase.
So satisfying. I'm really liking this perfectionist process. Now Sophia and I are like...
I'm learning so much about Illustrator, and I'm still so mind blown every time. I don't know, every time something, I'm like, oh my God, you do this and then you remove that and it looks so great.
And I try it, it's like a mess. Illustrator on iPad, I don't know, I was thinking this is going to be a little...
Yeah, and I'm like, must be a bug. It's not me. It's totally not me.
And you're like reporting every time. And Adobe's like, someone in the office is sitting there like, oh no.
Yeah, it's usually my mistake.
Yeah, for this particular design, I spent a bit of time. It's a lot of try and error, to be honest. Like sometimes things work, sometimes they don't really work visually, but that's the point. And yeah, that's how I came to this point here. So now what I do is just erase the lines that I don't really need for the design. I erase also these ones that I don't really need there. So now we have a basic shape of the sun, having a nice contrast between the thick lines in the background and also the sun shape. And what I do next, I want to create this kind of, in the sunrise or also sunsets, you don't see a real perfect shape of the sun. The sun has some kind of blurry thing around it. It's like this ball of fire there, but it doesn't have like a perfect shape. So what I want to do is try to create in a simple way, that kind of blurry effect, or that kind of blurry effect. So what I did is just to create this kind of this kind of angular shapes around the lines like this. So I go with the pen tool to create the shapes here. So what I do is, to the corner of the line, I go to the middle of it and do something like this. And so the same color. And I do that with every extreme of these lines. Try to keep the same kind of distance between them. And yep.
We already have a comment from the chat saying that Camilo is a mathematician.
Yeah, I also saw that it was about
You've been awarded a new title.
I guess they have also seen your last stream, and when you were like, you see the numbers, we need to calculate this exactly.
And I must say, there's a lot of entertainment in the chat. We've gone into the Christmas jumper, and this is why you were laughing earlier. Now I get it.
Emma, we have a photo shoot coming up for you, and your
I heard.
jumper.
Thanks, everyone. But it's also shifted to Camilo's jumper now as well. So I think everyone's very entertained. Someone's asked if I have a different one every day. I'll keep you surprised. Starts ordering on like Black Friday.
Finland people have Christmas jumpers.
Maybe I can like make one for every day. Starts mass production. And we had, who was saying this? Angus saying Camilo's jumper matches his framed picture in the background.
Oh yeah, kinda. To be honest, yeah.
Don't pretend like this is not planned, Camilo. You were like, what sweater should I wear today?
Lines.
Yeah, we spent the whole week planning the sweater. Yeah.
And then I think it was Oliver earlier on who was also saying that he doesn't have a Christmas jumper. And I feel, having lived 7 years in the UK, that it was just like the basic necessity to have, like a yearly pressure to have a Christmas jumper. And I actually bought one when I left the UK. And I was like, yeah, I shall wear it in Germany and on streams. So yeah, I hope everyone at home's ready.
Tony was the one that started the question of you being a model for Christmas jumpers.
That's really sweet.
Him to blame.
Tony. No, I love Tony. I'm glad he's watching.
Yeah, Tony asked, isn't it always Christmas in Finland? Santa lives there.
Right. And Tony's been here. He's been to Lapland. So I'm getting messages every day of people who are like, oh, it's amazing. You're so lucky. So appreciate that. Yeah.
From what I've seen, it looks like it's not real. I'm not surprised that people kind of suspect you have a Zoom background, that this is not real.
Just my neighbor's Santa, by the way. Did you know it's like Santa's
He's very busy in this time.
He is. I just don't want to interrupt him, but just having coffee later on.
With his little elves, they come by.
Camilo, we totally interrupted as well. Sorry.
No.
Got off track. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I lost track of. Oh yeah.
You also lost track.
No. Look, now I did all these kind of diagonal shapes around the sun, and it gives some kind of blurry effect to it. And in a simple way, to be honest, it's not super blurry, but you know what I mean. It makes the shape of the circle a bit less defined, which is what I want. And so yeah, now I have that. I want to mention something that is really good about Illustrator. That, for example, let's do this one again. You have these smart guides now, the pink lines that you get here, that it gives you like a nice reference that if you are in the middle or if you are in the same spot of other shape, you know, and it's really good, and it kind of saves you a lot of time, and it's really good for this. So
I have a question in the chat, and I'm just gonna pass it on. Sandrine asked, Camilo, would you do just 1/2 of the additional shapes and copy over and reflect?
I guess she's talking about these ones, like the
little.
I can do that too. Yeah, that's true. What I can do is just to create this one and just basically copy paste and go to reflect vertical. Yeah, that's true. That could be like there's a lot of different ways to get to the same point, and that's also really good about this Illustrator or Photoshop or the all the Adobe software. Like sometimes each person had a different way to get to the same design or to the same spot, and I guess
completely. We've seen this a lot of this year as well, where I think a lot of guests feel really pressured coming on the stream because they're like, everyone's going to judge me. This is Adobe. And it's been amazing to see how much the community is just finding out new ways to work as well. And just leaving the stream thinking, oh, wow, I never tried this, or like a shortcut or just really small adjustments like that can make a big difference. And Tim, who's here, obviously, always gives some extra tips after the stream, which is great. Just a bit of love as well.
Yeah, we have this discussion, I think, a lot, that there's so many ways to do things and everyone is kind of shy sometimes about, is this the right way to do it? But I think it's really great to see how people create their art and everyone has their own version, and it's mostly about how do you feel comfortable? What is your own way of doing it? If you like it one way or the other way, I think some people really want to do everything by hand. Other people are more about efficiency. I think it's really great to get inspiration and just try what works for you. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. And just continuing in that point, like you were saying, like some people were commenting, like there's a lot of mathematics sometimes in these kind of things, and I don't know. For me, I feel better when I know when there's some kind of reason behind what I'm doing, and in this case, it's just numbers, I guess, or like shapes and geometry. I don't know. I like to play a lot with that and have some kind of justification for myself. It's just for me. It's not for the people looking to what I'm doing, you know. And I guess that's also helped me a lot to just move forward to what I'm doing instead of just staying in one spot, going in circles. So I know that what I did it has some kind of, it is, you know what I mean?
Journey.
Yeah.
A creative journey. We love that. And we actually haven't mentioned at home, I know you're working still, but how everyone can get involved. And we also want you to create some of this light and darkness, kind of playful approach to what, will carry you through this month. So, feel free to go out there, and if it's safe, obviously, and you're out of any lockdown, and just, take photos, videos, and you can tag us on Instagram using the hashtag on the light side, and we'll pick those and go through them and select a winner. What else did I miss, Sophia? Camilo?
Yes, you have 2 weeks from now on, I think until the 15th. That is 2 weeks
correct.
from now on. And exactly, you can tag us on Instagram with the hashtag. I think we said that if you're in Germany or France, you can tag the Adobe DE or the Adobe France Instagram channel and Discord. You can also upload there. And
feel free to share on Discord, and actually you'll have plenty more to get inspired on about this challenge. You'll see more in the next 2 weeks until the 15th, because later on the French stream, the Fresco ladies will be creating some work. We'll also have some in Germany with Melanie. So I'm really excited to see what Adobe Live is going to be creating around light, and I hope you will be as well at home.
Yes. Yeah. And I will do another stream with Julia on Friday in Germany if someone wants to join for that.
Melanie and Julia. Yeah. Correct. I'm forgetting whoever, all these people who are getting involved. You'll see plenty more. And we'll be back. So at the end of this month, around the 17th, if I'm not wrong, to pick a winner. And as we said, it will be a CC subscription for a year and a print of what Camilo is creating now. So we've gone full circle.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now what I'm doing here, I want to create the reflection in the water of the sunlight. And I want to do it, or I wanted to do it in the most simple, basic way possible, because the whole illustration is quite basic, but that's the point. And so I'm doing, I'm doing a similar process that what I did with the sun up here. So what I do basically is just let's redo this one. I create this shape, like a square shape, and it's, I think it's 6 pixels thick. Why? Because I want to keep it rounded. So that's why. It can be whatever you want, but for me, it works like this. So what I do is to create this square rectangular shape, and then go to the pen shape again, and then do a similar process of creating these kind of diagonal corners here at the end of the shape, and just copy paste it, just turn it around, and I get this, and this is what I want for this. So this is a really random process here, because if you think about a sunset in the sea or in a lake, whatever, you know that the light reflecting the water kind of goes along the water and it gets smaller each time. So I want to create something similar like that. And you know, also the water is moving all the time, the waves. So that's also distorting a bit the reflection. So somehow I want to create that too. So what I did here is just to create different similar shapes to this one. So I just basically copy paste it to in the middle of each line, and I play with the length of the shape. Just playing with it. I mean, it's a random process. This is not too mathematical in this case. It's a lot of visual here. And what I do sometimes, I was talking this with Sophia the other day also, also with photography, it works a lot. When you're working a lot into small details, it's also really helpful to have the big picture, you know, to go zoom out and see how it is working in small sizes, because at the end, that's how people is gonna be looking at your work. Even if it's photography, painting, illustration, design in general, like, yeah, it's good to have that kind of perspective.
Yeah, I do that too, like zoom out, not like to see it maybe at like 50%, and then just look at it from a full like bird perspective. And I think, I was wondering, are more people doing that, or is it just me? But I'm happy that Camilo is doing it too. If anyone else in the chat is doing that too, please let me know, so I feel less alone.
Sophia, are you going to participate, and what will you create for the challenge? Obviously, we're all participating voluntarily. We're not in for prizes, but yes, this is all for you guys at home, but we'll still be doing it.
Yeah. I really want, I love it. Like, I really want to take on something, because I don't think I've ever created something with the sun or light in it. No, I can't remember right now, but I want to. Like, I really want to show that photography is part of this challenge, and also create something for it. But obviously completely not in the challenge, because we will be the judges of it. So I will not.
Completely biased. And Sophia's like, exactly. I will pick my work. It's like
for
your school project. Yeah, exactly. Because I'm going to go photography as well, I think, and go into that direction. I find it quite inspiring to work with light. Actually, Joe Allen did a session yesterday on winter photography as well, which was great with Tim.
Yes, I saw that.
And that was super insightful. Yeah.
Yeah. That was really nice. Also, how he edited the sun. I want to point out, if someone's interested in how he's editing the sun in his photos, that's a really good tip that he had there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And obviously use Adobe apps to create your work. I don't know if you're going for illustration or video, but there's plenty of options out there to, participate in the next 2 weeks and create something awesome.
Yeah, looking forward to see all the people participating in the different designs and the different, like, photography, whatever they want to do. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of really nice projects there.
Yeah, and also
Camilo, you'll be part of the judging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously. So we didn't mention this. Sophia and I are all super excited. And Camilo's like, I've created this monster. It's now a huge festive challenge on Adobe Live, which is amazing to see. Sophia,
yeah.
Oh, sorry, we're all like,
what?
No, I wanted to say that your challenge, like how your project has been developing, gives people a lot of inspiration where you can take this. Like, we don't have actually like restrictions. If this is your interpretation of light and sun, then that is wonderful. Like, they're now clear, like there does not have to be a yellow circle or the sun actually in the image. Just make it your own, be creative, and show us what came to mind when you heard about this, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, even more now during this Christmas time and it's winter, you know, a lot of countries, they're still in lockdown and like really complicated situations. So this kind of small challenges, this kind of like different kind of way of seeing things is something good to do, even if it doesn't have to be about the price or whatever. Like it's just for yourself. It's a nice thing to do, to just have a different point of view of the situation and just, to look at the positive side somehow.
Yep. I mean, we both did this basically for personal reasons.
Of course, yeah.
I think for me, it was a very like positive experience in the end, just to just be busy and just keep myself busy with small things, small projects. So even if you can't go outside or you feel like it's very stressful at the moment, maybe you can find the reflection of the sun in your apartment somewhere. If there's sun, if you're not in Finland like these two and there is no sun. Or I don't know, maybe you can even fake the sun with some light or something. I don't know. There's so many possibilities. So yeah, I'm also really excited to see what the fresco girls are gonna do, because
they're wonderful. They're just so talented as well. So I'm sure they have something excited straight after this. And going back to the chat as well, we have Karina who's joining us, and we'll be creating something as well in Germany on fresco. Tony has some questions. I don't know if
I just saw it here
that,
too.
Sophia.
I saw that Tony asked, would Camilo ever considering using a custom brush stretched between guides for the steps he's doing now? You mean for the water lines, I guess?
Yeah, I can also, let's see if I can do it here. Yeah, I can create something like similar. We can create an outline. I don't know if it's exactly what he's talking about, but this is also some kind of shortcut to do these reflections. Yeah, so I can create an outline and go here to, no, is it here? Yeah. And we have this one, which is a bit similar to what I'm doing, and I get just 6 points of the thickness. And yeah, it's a faster way to create this, what I'm doing here, by hand. And it saves you time and it's a bit more practical as well. We go back to the same point, like there's different ways to do similar things and get the same result. And at the end, I think that's the nicest and the coolest thing about this software, Illustrator or whatever, because like there's different ways to get to the same result or similar results, and two different people might be doing the same thing, but their results are going to be different because their processes are different too, and that's really cool.
Completely. And there's more people in the chat who are also sharing how they would do it. And Sandrine is also saying, I was thinking of using the width tool if I wanted to do the same with softer angles. And I really like that everyone's joining in. I know Tony did an Illustrator session as well at Max, so there's been plenty of creative juices shared around this application, right?
Yeah. So once I have all the lines that I want to have, all the reflection kind of shapes, for me it's just basically now it's a lot of random playing with the shapes, like seeing what looks best and what looks more real. And I just change the width, move them, the distance between themselves. I don't know. It's just a lot of back and forth, try and error, and this is a lot of subject. Like it's a subjective kind of matter here. Like if I like the way it looks, well, I go ahead. If I don't, I keep changing it forever if I want. You know, but but that's not the point here. Like I just want to keep it until I'm happy with what I'm seeing. So yeah, this is basically how I got the basic shapes. So let's see what's here. Yeah, we don't need this now. And so this one is the final, no, it's not the final result, but it's the final composition that I had in the graphic that I did for Adobe. And as you can see here, we can bring the one that I did here today. You can bring it next to this one. And like I was saying before, there's a lot of playing with the thickness and the length of the shapes, and see, and just creating different kind of compositions and see what looks the best.
Yeah.
And I think that for me, this is where I stop moving things and fixing things.
That's a super good point. When do you stop?
Yeah, it can go.
Tony,
Yeah.
yeah. No, Tony in the chat is saying that it's quite meditative. So I agree with that idea that there's not a best way, but there's a way that's more, there's a process that you enjoy more. And that's the way you should go for and do it. And there is something really soothing about watching this.
Yeah, I think you get a point there. There's a lot of this kind of process. It might take longer, to be honest. It takes a bit longer. But I guess it's some kind of like it's meditation, or it's not meditation, but it's the process is nice to follow it. I don't have any rush to finish this. This is not for a client, or this is not for a deadline. You know what I mean? So yeah, and at the end of the day, we get to the same point or similar points, which is really cool.
You made a point as well about personal work, right? And this is a great excuse for everyone at home to also have a bit of a personal project when you've been kind of running like crazy all year, maybe chasing for some work and client work. And, this is great to just have your outlet and, let your creativity go wild. And if you want to create more than one, go for it as well.
Yeah.
Join Camilo on a daily challenge. I mean, we didn't even talk about that, but go all out.
Yeah, exactly. I still have to do something for today.
Yeah, and we still have 2 more weeks to go, Camilo.
Yeah.
Cheers.
But actually, I didn't think about this before, but I'm gonna be finishing this challenge like in the next 2 weeks, and that's exactly, I think it's the same week where the
challenge is over. Like this challenge is over.
Yeah, no, but it's the same week where it's the darkest point in Finland.
Oh,
I think it goes until the 21st of December, if I'm not wrong, around that.
You should know. You're the one that should know.
I mean, it's technically the darkest point, but it's going to be dark for another 3 months or something.
Forever.
But yeah, it's actually, I think it's the 20th or 21st of December is when it's the darkest point of the winter here.
And then you're leaving Helsinki. I just want to point out, it's good that you're leaving the city for that day.
Oh, yeah, hopefully. And
extra drama. I like this turn of events.
Well, he's coming to visit. That's the only thing. He's coming for Christmas.
That's so nice.
Yeah, hopefully I can travel. Yeah. And yeah, I'm going to have some
light days in Berlin.
And 1 hour less.
Totally.
Yeah.
And you're going to be so jet lagged with the 1 hour time difference.
Going to be sleepy all day. So once I have the composition ready the way I want it, what I do is to group all the layers, and I just simply select everything and just Command G or right click, and you go to, well, it's already grouped, but if I go back and do it again, I just group it. So we have everything in one group. So the next thing I want to do, this is for the end. The next thing what I want to do is to create this kind of window shape around this graphic, just to give you a bit more context to the illustration. You're looking outside the window, sunset, sunrise, summer, and so for that, what I do is to create a shape. There's a lot of freedom in this as well, but so what I do is to create this shape, the square shape, the rectangular, and select these 2 points in the top. And with this tool, which is something really useful, and I think it's something, I don't know if it's recent, it's new in Illustrator, that you can have these rounded shapes really, really easy and quick. And
that was awesome.
That helps a lot with a lot of designs and with a lot of stuff. Like when you want to create these rounded corners in some illustration or just some design, this saves a lot of time and it's really quickly, and you can control it. Like you can do just one, you can control here the radius that you want to have. So yeah, if you want to be more precise and everything with those kind of things. But
also, I have a question here. I'm sorry. I'm being a terrible host, just barging in.
No, doing your job.
Jessica asks, what is Camilo's design process usually like? Would you describe your usual process? Is this your usual process, or how would you normally, I guess, come up with ideas and also execute them?
Well, depends on what I'm doing. But for example, for this challenge, the most common process is just to think about. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about music for some reason, because I don't know, I like music a lot, I guess, and who doesn't? And so I try to come up with songs or albums that have some relationship with song somehow, and that's how I start. And then I start like going deeply into the context. And for example, just to give you an idea, I can show you again this about this one in the middle, the orange one. For this one, what I did is I did this one on Sunday. So I was thinking Sunday, what can I do with Sunday? So I thought about the song Sunday Morning of No Doubt, the American band. And that's how everything came out. Like, I thought about the band, I thought about that album, and the cover of the album, they have some oranges there, which is a bit, I think represents a bit the Sunday morning, orange juice. Also represents a bit this kind of California kind of music from the 90s. So just draw an orange. And that's how
Your brain is a fascinating place. I wish mine worked like this. Find inspiration. You're like, I don't know. But we have actually Julia as well, who's joining in the chat, and a couple of hosts who are really excited for this week. So yeah, thanks guys for all tuning in.
So that's some like a roughly idea how the process goes. And then when I start designing things, that depends a lot of how I want to do it. Like in this case, which is a lot of really basic shapes and lines and circles and stuff like that, I just started doing lines, to be honest. And then I have some kind of grid and start playing with that. And it's a lot of back and forth. Like I said before, a lot of try and error. And then when something works, keep going that way. And then, and then I have some result at the end. And
Camilo, how far are you on your process for today? Can we get a sneak peek of that later on?
Almost there.
Almost there, nice.
Yeah. Now
everyone has to follow Camilo on Instagram to see that today.
Definitely. Ooh, yeah. Sophia, I like it. Marketer's dream.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sneaking in some promotion here.
I love it. Awesome.
So, yeah. So for this one, for example, I'm almost done. So we have the window shape here, like the basic shape. So what I do is just to put it on top of the composition that I have here. And we just center. We use this align tool here, which is also quite useful to center both things. What I do now is select both, right click, make clipping mask, and boom. Yeah.
Boom.
And then we have what we have here is just this composition inside the shape that I created, and that's basically it. That's the result. And what I do now is just to play with colors.
Yeah.
And we go here to the first one. So we have it here, and yeah.
Someone asked if we will have, I think Camilo and I can do that. We have 2 slides on Instagram stories that explain the challenge a little bit. I think I can save that as a highlight, maybe Camilo as well. So if people want to go back on it and see what the challenge is about, just real quick, I think some people were off and came back. We have a challenge for this in the next 2 weeks, where you can design, photograph, or just create an image with light and sun in it. It's called On the Light Side. So you will post it on Instagram with the hashtag On the Light Side. If you're in Germany or France, you can tag the Adobe accounts, and you can win a 1-year CC subscription and one of the prints of the designs that we're just seeing to be made right now. And am I forgetting something?
You can also submit through Discord. That's the last
Yes.
piece. And the last submission is on the 15th. So yeah, you have 2 weeks to get your project started. And feel free to also use InDesign. We haven't talked about that. Or yeah, Illustrator obviously right now, Fresco. So illustration and graphic design is more than welcome. So any format you've got, yeah, share the love.
Yeah, exactly. Like the possibilities are huge here with all the software
Endless.
from Adobe. Yeah, exactly. And Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, After Effects, even if you want to do some animation, totally.
Yeah.
Also
I've been getting
welcome.
into GIFs recently. Maybe I'll do a
Exactly.
GIF.
Yeah. How much time do
Are
we
you
have?
blending the two? Yeah,
Yeah.
we have about 10 minutes to go. So we can talk a little bit more about your process if you want in some of your illustrations or if you have more to show.
Yeah, we can.
Someone was also asking, how do you choose your color palettes? I think Jessica
that's
was
a
that too, or was it Karina?
nice
I have
one.
to check who it was.
That's a tricky
Karina
one.
has it.
You have a really nice use of colors, and I understand that question. I'm also really curious to see.
What I do for this project in specific, because I've been doing this for 2 weeks already or something like that, I selected a group of, like, we can go again to this, we can go to the beginning. The first illustration I did, this one, I had this kind of creamy light color, the blue and the red. And as you can see, the more advanced, the more I go, the more I include colors. I started just with 2 basic colors, black, blue, and red. And then this one, I add some yellow. And then here I put some orange, you know. It's a really random process for me. I know some people, they have really a lot of knowledge about color palettes and how to create a really balanced and nice palette. For me, it's a lot of also try and error, what works visually for me. And in this project in specific, the more I go, the more I add colors, and a dark blue in this one. Yeah, orange here. I don't really have a process for me to select colors. I just basically select colors sometimes I create a mood board and I kind of select a color palette from there. Also for photography, that's a really good way to get like a nice palette, to have some photography that you like and just select the colors from there. And because sometimes the best palettes, like the best palettes are in nature, you know, like you're not gonna see a color that doesn't match in nature, you know. So there's always gonna be some balance there, and it's also a good way to get good colors.
And it's not just color, it's also texture. I really liked in your first image that you had this kind of wavy pattern feel, which make it look really natural. So you have also that use. It's not just the colors that give this effect. I think you have really nice, the lines and yeah.
Yeah, I try to play with these kind of little patterns here. In the first one, I have this kind of wavy thing. I use it again in this one, in the sun a bit. And I use it again here. I try to repeat this kind of things to kind of keep some kind of context, and you know, and yeah. So I want to show one last thing from this design. So for this one, I choose the colors. Orange is the color for the sunrise, I guess. When it's a nice sunrise, it's orange and red, and the sky is still a bit dark, and so the dark blue comes from that, and the orange comes from that as well. So I wanted to create something extra with this. I was thinking, what can I do? And yeah, I wanted to just a bit extra here. So I went and create frame by frame. This is just me going up in nuts. And
oh wow.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes.
Yeah. How long did that take you to do this? Just real quick. How long did you do this?
Oh no.
To be honest, no. It takes longer the beginning, but once I get in the process, it's easy. Yeah. And it didn't take me maybe 1 hour or something.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah.
The hardest part is to understand how to do it, and then when I find some process, I just keep going that way. So I want to create this kind of frame by frame animation of the sunrise using this illustration. So I basically create an illustration per frame of the sunrise, and it was quite easy for this for this specific one because I have the lines here in the sky, and that gives me some kind of reference per frame. So I just use 1 and 1 and 1 and so on. And so I start with the empty sky and the empty sea, and then to the last one, which is basically the same, the empty sky and the empty sea, because the sun just disappears.
Yeah.
So when I have all these ready, I export them into PNG or GPG images, and yeah, we can go.
Do you have the final one ready?
Yeah.
Just because we're running out of time a little bit, I think. Almost.
So we export everything. We import everything. I can do to export everything, import everything to After Effects to create this simple animation, and it's just really big.
There it is.
This is awesome.
It's a really basic kind of frame by frame stop motion animation, but yeah, I wanted to do it and see how it looks, and I like the result.
It's great.
If I want to play longer with this, I can play longer and make it just change the duration and the colors and so on to make it more complete. But yeah, this is just a simple way to show it how it works.
Love it.
That's
and
great.
I need a bit of that light. It's gone dark for me completely already. We're just talking about this, and
and Camilo was joking in the beginning. It's gonna be dark within this stream,
and it's starting with me. I think in a few minutes it's going to be you, Camilo. So need to work on the lighting setup. A bit of
but
ambiance.
We're almost at the end, so it's fine.
Yeah, we made it. And there's been some trolls in the chat. Everyone's repeating what we might win and what you might win at home. So we've lost this community already way back, but it shows everyone's really excited about this. Sophia, do you want to say it one more time?
I mean, yes, I'll do it one more fire round. So we have a challenge for the next 2 weeks. You can create whatever kind of art you're creating, illustration, graphic design, photography, videos, everything is welcome. And it has to be some inspiration from the sun or light. So it has also some positivity to it because we wanted to see the light at the end of the tunnel this year, and we're going to go forward and be positive about what's about to come. And you can post it on Instagram with the hashtag on the light side. If you're in France or Germany, you can also tag each the respective Adobe channel, Germany or France. You can also post it on Discord, and we will be the judge. We will be the judges, the three of us, until the 15th. We will reveal the winner on the 17th, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a Thursday. Emma and I'm going to do a stream on the UK stream, and we're going to reveal the winners. We're also going to show some of our favorites, like best of honorable mentions, and I think that's it. I think
You squeeze it all in. We managed. Oh, the prize again, huh? Should we talk about the prize again?
Oh,
Everyone's just...
the prize. The prize is a 1 year CC subscription and a print of the design we just saw today. High quality, nice, awesome print, which I love. I love great art on the wall, and I also love great art in my computer, and you can get both.
Wonderful. Tony's saying, well done, Sophia. With true respect. We managed to do this. And of course, thanks to Camilo for this whole idea and showing through your work today. It was quite a quick hour.
Yes, it went by so fast, almost as the sunlight in Finland.
Oh, yeah.
And gone.
Laughing, crying.
Exactly,
again.
yeah.
No, but thank you both. I'll see you again in a couple of weeks then. And we'll stay tuned, just watching what everyone at home is going to be posting on social. We'll keep track of the hashtag. You'll see plenty more on the Fresco sessions, also in the UK with Rachel and Hazel, who are going to be creating some work. So plenty more. I hope you two are also excited to judge these.
Yep.
Wonderful. All right. Then we say bye to all of you and see you tomorrow for some more festive content.
A whole month of festive content.
Absolutely. All right. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, everyone. Bye.